Hi, I'm Sophia, the Cycle Breaking Mom, and where I talk about all things breaking cycles. Welcome to my channel. All right, so I recently read something that said pain that's not transformed gets transmitted to our children, our partners, and anyone else that we love or are in relationship with. And that's huge because um we a lot of the times we are blaming our kids um for why we are out of control, yelling, um sometimes hitting. We blame our partners for our triggers, um, when it's really our own pain that we're carrying. And most of the time, we're carrying it from childhood because we had parents that transmitted their pain onto us, right? And it gets embedded in our brain and in our nervous system, and it patterns in it in it in the nervous system. It gets patterned in the nervous system, and then other people around us are the ones that are the effects of it. So what do we do about that? What do we do about that? First of all, we have awareness. We have awareness that the triggers that we're experiencing that is causing us to react a certain way is ours. First and foremost, it's ours. We've been carrying it most of the time from childhood, and a lot of times we have inherited it. That's the first thing. Okay, so let's take the blame off of others, and we're not going to put the blame on ourselves, but we are going to take responsibility that is ours. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, and then the second step is that we want to start to look at who do we want to be, like how do we want to show up in these relationships. So for me, I call it Sophia 2.0, right? So Sophia 2.0 is peaceful. She's calm, she's grounded, she's balanced. Okay, she responds most of the time because we are human. Like, we do have to leave room for our humanity. But like, once you take the responsibility, like, okay, this is my stuff. Then second is, okay, well, how do I want to show up? Okay. And then there's a bridge between the two. Okay. So how do we bridge the gap from where we are to where we want to go, from 1.0 to 2.0? Okay. So we look at what triggers us, like what are the triggers, right? And be clear on them. Okay, let's do it for kids, because I work with moms and in the parent-child relationship. So I ask my kid to do something, and then they don't do it right away. What comes up in me? What am I feeling? Okay. So for me, when I used to be there, it would be more like um, what would be the word? Surprise? Like, wait, did I just say to do something and they didn't do it? Because when I was growing up, and even and I feel blessed in many ways. I didn't have dictator type of parents, all right? But still, in those days, you do what you were told. You know what I mean? Or you possibly could get smacked. Okay. So it's like, wait, I just said to do something and my child didn't do it. So I'm a little bit confused, perturbed. I'm like getting angry because like I'm the parent and you the kid and you're supposed to do what I say. Okay. So then what happened? What do you do from there? Then it's like, okay, then I lash out. I told you to get up and do what I told you to do, right? Now, some kids, like I have 3 different types of kids, and you have to know each kid is different and they all have their different personalities. And so one kid is, like, oh, okay, jump up, do it, right? Another kid kind of bargains, and then the other kid is like, no, I'm busy. What? What? Right? And so then that's when the yelling, might take place. All right. So you got to understand, like, what are the things that do make you lose your cool? And then you got to look at, like, well, what are the thoughts that I'm having? What are my beliefs here around kids and how they are supposed to be? Because we picked that up from how what we were taught most of the time. And then how do I react? Right? If you're yelling and screaming and hitting, you've missed the mark. You've missed the mark because you're not teaching the kid anything when you're yelling, screaming, demanding. You want to be a healthy, grounded leader in your home. And maybe a kid might end up being afraid of you, but they are not going to actually respect you as a person. And we want to be respected, and we want to keep that connection. So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to look at, do you want to be the parent that demands something, or has the kid to do something and they need to do it right away because you said that, so because you're the parent? If that works for you, then this isn't the right place for you. But if you want to have like mutual respect between you and your children, then you want to do something different. So you want to first get yourself calm, and pause, 3 breaths. And I remember when I used to hear that, like, oh, pause, take some breaths. I'm just like, yeah. But What that does is takes you out of your emotional reactive brain and puts you back up here where you can um, problem solve and rationalize and uh, be in a more grounded state. And so you actually want to come to them as a healthy leader. Um, so what you would do after you ask them to do something, first of all, you need to ask yourself, is this something dire? Like, does it need to be get done right away? Like, is it urgent? And so, like, if it is, then you can just say, I asked you to do this thing. It needs to be done, like, right now. And so if they're in the middle of doing something, so whatever you're doing, you're going to have to wrap it up because I really need you to do this right now. Okay. And like, if they say they're in a game and, oh, please let me finish this game, if you can, let them finish the game. Like, what if somebody did that to you? You're in the middle of doing something and they like, you need to leave what you're doing right now. Like, not treating you with any respect at all. So you want to treat them with respect. But if there's some time and there's no urgency, and you know that you're just so appalled that they didn't do what you asked them to do, then just think about that for a moment. And this, like what I do is I say, I need you to do this thing. And, what time, and if you can set the alarm and I need you to come and do it. So what time would you like to do it? And usually they be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, you'll be surprised how much respect goes a long way. When you respect them, they respect you, right? So they'll set their alarm, and sometimes they might be like 30 minutes and I'll be like 20, and they'd be like 25 and I'll be like 22. So we set a little net. It's like, set your alarm and then come do the thing, right? So that right there, when you are like grounded and centered in your approach, you do get different results. You treat them with respect, they will try to treat you with respect. You got to go first. You are the parent, you're the leader, and you go first. And when it comes to, that can transfer to, other situations too, whether you with your partner, because we all have a little kid inside of us or whatever. So you talk to them with respect and you ask them to do something that you might need them to do. Everything needs to be from respect and from a grounded place, from the front part of your brain when you are communicating. So partners, friends, anybody this works for, people need to be treated with respect. You want to be treated with respect, you got to treat others with respect. So all right, so that's my advice for today. Stay tuned for the next video on all things cycle breaking. Bye for now.